I have people plead with me to give them one crumb of advice that will let them reach this promised land. But it is only empty promises that they have heard. There is no promised land of enlightenment, and no one to reach it. No one has this sublime emptiness, and no one can give it away. Utter emptiness is already the case. It is the looking for it which seems to deny it. Looking for enlightenment, looking for any idea requires a belief in it, and enlightenment is not a belief, like emptiness, like other, better, more, and next. So how can you find that which is already on? Wouldn't looking for it be it, or running away? How could it be confirmed or denied, accepted or rejected? The confirmation or rejection or acceptance, all what seems to appear, there is no getting out of this streaming dream of separation. There is certainly no outside or edge to what seems to appear. And isn't the recognition of this seamless symphony of sensorial display inseparable from it, never one without an other? Wouldn't you say that life seems to appear all by itself without effort or non-effort? The feelings of effort and ease both arise effortlessly. All arises and self-erases evenly and equally, and there are no separate actual things in this stream of perceptual input. It is thought which seems to divide the unknowable, ungraspable no-thingness into separate things and events, and this is something you can never see, as you are one of these imaginary separate things, like enlightenment. I am a dream spell of liquid memory, slipping, sliding, falling through itself, endless stories, spiraling, no end or beginning in sight. A fluid portrait of all the stories, all the images, all whom I have met. There are no separate stories. That I am a fairy tale dream girl is a story, as are these very lines tripling through your mind stream, which really isn't yours, as you exist only in the thought you think of as yours. All thought is learned, shared words, stories, weaving and unraveling without any actual substance. Sky soars through sky, light pours through light. Life swoons into itself. Through your arms, your eyes, your lips, this very kiss, this obvious aliveness, immediate and clear, without other, without before or after, ungraspable, wondrous beyond measure, not even a this, as there is no that. Moon swept, edgeless skies. Wind has no anchor, words have no meaning. Meaning is a word. Tears have no wetness, they are wetness itself. Love has no words, love is in all words, all sounds, all silence. Love bleeds, it has no anchor nor edges. It cannot be found or lost. You cannot be found or lost. There is no you without love, nor love without you. What is darkness? What is light? What is this warmth inside my chest? Stars bursting, rivers of songs pour onto this screen. Fingertips flow softly over this keyboard, painting light and dark and colors streaming through this thought dream. Wings of memory, tides of images, feathers drift softly, settling into this book of poems that writes me, as I continually slide off the pages that were never bound or held or separate from the story they tell. There is no heart, nor hand, nor mind that can contain this love, this unbearably wondrous symphony that seems to play itself and hear itself, and leaves not a drop of sound, not even silence, in its wake. No one paints these infinite watercolor skies, or this moon that seems to hover, suspended, falling through its own embrace. The horizon never reached unties itself, and the present is revealed to be nothing other than what it always was, a dream of infinite wonder, dreaming itself. Is enlightenment the end of love or the beginning? Everyone knows the magic of which I sing, this utterly empty aliveness, this obviously, immediately, spontaneously, naturally arising and self-releasing, this rich and full, unspeakable aliveness without other, utterly complete in itself, elusive and unknowable, ungraspable as there are no edges, no outside, and no one to reach this idea of beyond, unfindable, without time or place, as there is no other, better, more, or next. But it can be far too frightening to not run away, to try to ignore this great maw of emptiness, clamoring for attention, and a life of looking for a non-existing solidity ensues, because if the essential emptiness of all things, including the seeker, all yesterdays and tomorrows and even love become obvious, it would be the end of the illusion of solidity, of knowing, of reaching, of hope, of meaning, of purpose, of a life with a goal, including enlightenment. A story that you are indeed, as you feared, utterly empty, utterly non-existent, and utterly alone. But it is also the end of fear. Fear of death, fear of life, fear of love, fear of fear. It is not the imaginary persona who sees this, and it is unknown how this is seen. But the story goes that it is the recognition by the brain that its own mental fabrication is indeed made up, simply a web of words of thought that has never had any substance or solidity, that nothing can be known, that there is no permanence or impermanence, as are no things whatsoever, yet all and everything is included. For the imaginary persona, this is a life of freedom beyond all the ideas of freedom or bondage. It is a life of all-encompassing love, beyond all ideas of love, a life of utter wonder, without time or timelessness, simply the wonder and awe of life, just as it seems to appear, and the inescapable humanness we all share. Is there a someone who feels incomplete, who needs to be filled? Or is there a terrible fear that there is not? Maybe all and everything is utterly empty of substance, of time, of place, of meaning. Counting the stars that ripped through heaven, looking for the edge of time, branded by desire to find the origin of light. Her heart plunged into sky, as sky pelted down, or was it rain or tears that could not quench the fire that she feared, the love and the hunger for it that she was. The heavens opened, they were never closed. Or was it her heart recognizing its own edgeless beauty? All that seems to appear is a dream within a dream, an atemporal dream ship sailing through a dream sky of time and space. When the imaginary sailor topples off the ship, all dissolves in seamless beauty. Love saturates the dream, love untethered, uncaused, ungraspable, love without hope or fear or need. All ideas, all stories of what this is are dream castles, forming and dissolving simultaneously, mentally fabricated things and events that may seem to form puzzle pieces that require a big picture of wholeness, of oneness. When it feels like you are one of these pieces, you are forever wandering, searching to find the other parts, to make yourself whole. But there are no pieces to the puzzle to who or what you are, and no picture will ever be found. You were never separate from sky or from the love you sought, the dream of love that you are. I hear an echo, and there is no longing to find it, as you are the taste of these eyes. This edgeless heart falls into and through its own embrace, as the hush of memory dances with her own reflection. We seem to arise in the spinning, dizzy, in love with love. Chandeliers of thought fall through the ceiling of sky. Or was it stars piercing the darkness? Love's beauty is that we can never know what it is, but we feel the rush, the sensuousness of this unowned, ungraspable aliveness, indivisible. Measureless, edgeless love is inseparable from you. You are inseparable from love. There are no things that cannot be spoken of, as all thingness arises in the languaging. We are this web of words, this dream spell of thought, and all thought references other thought, all words other words, and there is not even nothing underneath thought. Even thought is created by thought. So we in our world are actually like a scaffolding of threads of sky suspended in sky, filaments of space woven in space, tendrils of emptiness trailing nowhere, coming from nowhere, as no place or time or emptiness can be found. Real and false are made up. Truth, another idea. Illusion is illusion. The feeling that there is something beyond, and I know it well, is the feeling perhaps, or the lack of solidity to the worded world of ideas and concepts that we are. And this feeling that all ideas of what you are and what you are not, and all ideas of what your world is and what your world is not, are simply made up, mental fabrications. But you, as an idea, cannot know this. That would be like the water in a mirage knowing it is not wet. So the story goes that it is the brain that sees through this own illusion and makes sense to me, as it certainly felt like that thing I call my brain got rewired. But like all description, this is merely description, like you and me in love. We cannot actually know there is a physical world beyond this mentally fabricated world of things, but this is assumed. Self is the assumption of knowing and longing for certitude, yet there are no things to be known and no one to know this, and there is no solidity, no certitude. Yet after this is recognized, the self somehow remains, but it is different, as there is a sublime unknowing and a seamless love that saturates the dream of things. You remain an imaginary point of view, knowing there are no reference points whatsoever. Dissolved yet dancing, in love as love, through love. A song of love echoes, and you cannot hear, nor not hear, your heart beating madly, as you are the soundless sound of love's infinite reverberations. Her words are untranslatable, and no one knows this language, but all hearts sing it, bathe in it, and dance it. Love is the very beating of our hearts. She appears as she sings us into this ineffable ballet of winged wonder, soaring through us as us. Skinless, we melt, as all things dissolve. We never were, nor were we not. We are the wonder of love. Beyond knowing and unknowing, this obvious, unspeakable aliveness cannot be caught, as your hands, your eyes, your heart swoon through their own seamless embrace. Inside and out melt into a quietude of bottomless intimacy. Your heart drops into a dreamland of brilliant and subtle reflections, falling through reflections, as an unfathomable sensuous lostness erases the need to be found or lost. All signposts have dissolved into the magnificent display of no tomorrows. All and everything a marvelous illusion where life seems like a foreign movie you heard about but have never seen. Yet the music that was played when sky cast her spell onto the sea as they both dissolved into shimmering moonlight seems to play on. All is without effort or non-effort in this incomparable softness that has no other, nor before, nor after. This seamless embrace falls through itself, and no sides or edges or center can be found to this all-encompassing love. There is no place or time to be caught and held, and no one separate from this seamlessness to admire it, yet all and everything, the utter emptiness of nothing at all, and simultaneously the worded world of things seem to beat my heart into wings, soaring beyond freedom or bondage, with no place to land, is no one to fly. Lacy clouds seem to form and dissolve, yet were there ever any clouds or storms or long, sultry, sunny days? I cannot say, as I cannot find any things, not even a looker. I dissolved into spaceless space, deeper and broader and more extensively than infinity, yet more intimate and closer than thought itself. Yet I had never left. This is like a homecoming, yet no one leaves or returns. This wondrous dance of emptiness and fullness, of no thing and everything, is simply the delight of inexpressible awe. People ask me how to see this seamless wonder, and I cannot remember not. The idea that there are separate things and events seems like a black and white, silent movie I once saw. This infinite embrace of nothing is not recognized by you or me. No one has this sublime emptiness. How could an idea know that it is an idea? How could the water in a mirage drink itself or know it is illusion? As you are illusion, how could you ever see that you are imaginary? The seeker is the expectation of finding something or nothing. Yet nothing can ever be found as long as there is seeking, and as you are the seeking, how can you stop? This ineffable music plays itself. This brush of life paints itself, and there is no canvas or ground of being or staves upon which the notes of life are played. All and everything is utter, complete in itself. Without separate parts or edges, there is no one to slide off the mirror. All is liquid memory, seemingly informing our world. And without separate things, how could anything be out of place? How could life be wrong or right? Life arises and dissolves without ever actually existing, yet it does not exist. You are the asking, the questioning. Is there something more that needs to be done or allowed or found or lost? You are the seeking for handholds, but you have no hands. There is not even nothing to hold, to grasp, to understand. This magic you seek is in the seeking, the missing of it and the finding. All and everything appears utterly spontaneously without effort or non-effort. What could be more magical than that? There is no other, better, more, or next, you know that deeply. Yet there is an unease about the prospect of a life without hope, or fear, or need. How could life continue without a you doing it? Was there ever? All lines, all definition, all measurement, all separation is mentally fabricated, a liquid dreamscape that seems to flow, but no before or after can be found, nor can a looker. Self-sprung and self-erasing, the dream dreams itself. In the collision of never and forever, a sublime hush listens. Echoes seem to bloom and fall. This is a song without sound or silence, a soundless love that seems to sing you, sing me, and envelop us in our own edgeless embrace. Color without substance, light without color, transparency without anything to be clear, a passion play without a stage or actors or writers or an audience, simply a river of echoes, rushing, roaring, flowing through a landscape of dreams, remembered and forgotten. a lost and found love song without a singer, without words. Your heart knows deeply this song of aliveness. It is obvious but cannot be found or lost. So simple, so all-encompassing, this aliveness has no edges, no outside from where it can be seen or grasped, or allowed or accepted or rejected. The story may include the song of acceptance and the longing for completeness. This is neither complete nor incomplete. There is no cup to be filled or emptied. Life drinks you as you drink it. What is the taste of taste? It is in the tasting of it. Where is the love in love? It is love itself, tasting its own wondrousness through your lips, your tongue, your eyes, your skin, your heart. This heart beating madly, in love, as love, through love, life sings. All things are simply description, nothing under or inside the words, thought, ideas, or concepts, even silence, even love, even I love you, and I do. You and your world arise in the languaging, echoes of shared learned words and concepts, ideas flowing, streaming, rushing, roaring, blood flowing through you, oceans pouring through you, love flowing in you, as you, through you, like this, like this, like this, love sings. We are the flowing thought stream. It seems to meander here and there, but it creates here and there, and things like flowing. How wondrous to feel thought paint pictures of sky with sky, silhouettes of softness billowing through softness, wind singing songs with wind, elegant architecture of not even nothing. Lace-wing clouds form and dissolve. Were they ever really there? Where is there? Where is here? When were they? When were they not? The dream of things requires an imaginary center, a reference point around which the rest of the dream swirls. When belief in that one point is removed, often the entire structure collapses, or sometimes the rest of the tent continues to billow. Wind songs feel real. What is real? What is not? Go ahead and grab some of life and hold on. And why do we consider flowers to be beautiful, more so than their plastic cousins? And why would we want forever when we have never found even a moment? This echoland dreamscape of thought seems to paint a world of things and a backdrop of time and space, and a you rushing headlong into your own demise. And oh, isn't this heart rush wondrous, this obvious elusive aliveness, and knowing this aliveness, aware of being aware of this awareness of this aliveness. Imaginary separation is the only place where love dances. We are echoes of echoes, emerging and dancing in each other's love light. I do not exist without you, and I love you for that. River of softness flows through you, paints your face with butterfly kisses. Gently, gently, river caresses itself through the wetness of your eyes. Sky reflections fall through the water and drown in the bottomless depths, where no one is suspended in echoes of dreams, of dreams, of dreams. Wetness dissolved in wetness. The taste of no tomorrow slides through the tip of your tongue, and the languaging of love sings infinite petals blooming into the rush of rainbows exploding and cascading back through their own softness. Colors backlit by sunset hover on the horizon as you melt again into the edgeless sea where you never left, yet never were. The curtains part, they never were. You were simply a dream song that never began or ended. All and everything simply marvelous thought constructions, elegantly crocheting sky into sky, unraveling all ideas of sky. Neither solid nor liquid, an imaginary streaming of not even nothing appears to paint patternless patterns, flowing into and through themselves, an endless blooming and wilting of infinite petals of loveliness, leaving not a trace of even a breath of wind or petals falling. Rhythmless rhythms dissolve into a marvelous dream song, wings unfolding into sky, sky unfolding into wings. Nakedly seeing without eyes, hearing without ears, touching without skin, edgeless hearts reverberate as one and dissolve into the vastness of unknowing. The line between you and starlight never was. The veil is utterly transparent. All is imaginary. There are no stars strewn across the night sky, no points of light, no galaxies spinning. No universe exists without things, and there are none. You are the thought dream where flowers and stars appear, constellations of imaginary reference points, stories shared by a midnight fire, sparks rising, dissolving into night, crickets singing. You are the heart of existence, and you are not. Here and not here, nothing can be found or lost. All is dissolved in a love that has no definition, no boundary. We are pools of echoes, reflections of infinite heart songs. We are the deep, deep currents, the shimmering surface, and the luminous, bottomless depths in this river of love. We are boundless ocean pouring into itself, simultaneously blooming and wilting. Pure luminescence without shadow or light streams into and through itself without edge or center, without background or foreground, or any dimension at all. This obvious aliveness, this enchantment without a magician, bursts into being. Self-sprung, simply and obviously a spontaneous ignition, life burns itself without ever actually existing or not. Dancers swing and sashay across the stage, and in mid-twirl, the ground dissolves, the dancers disappear, and there is only dancing. Measureless, tasteless, spaceless space pours through your heart, and there is only love, breathing. The taste of taste, the scent of aliveness hovers in your mouth, your lips, your tongue. This love without other burns away the edges of your heart that never were. And you peer into a mirror, and no one is there. And you peer into the eyes of your lover, and no one can be found or lost. There is no looker, and no one wondering why. I was the looking for love, and found no one looking. There was no love to be found or lost, no things to be gathered into a bouquet, no meaning to tie it with a bow, and no one to give it to. Walking along the beaches of a shoreless ocean, suspended as the hush between never and forever, neither day nor night, nor endless sunset sings. Yet you can feel the music, this pulsating aliveness, a sourceless, shimmering iridescence fills you and empties you, bathes you in the long, long light of this magic hour. Oranges and reds hang in the sky, stream through your eyes, from the inside out and outside in. There is no mirror behind or before you, yet it seems you fell through the looking itself. What colors you and your world as you swoon into and through yourself, neither moving nor still, dissolved yet dancing.